G'day guys and gal, I'm just about as nerdy as they come. I mean, I literally make my living from researching and presenting Warhammer 40k lore, which for those of you who have lost your virginity is the backstory and adventures of those little plastic toys that grown men paint. I also happen to train Jiu Jitsu a couple times a week, recently getting my blue belt, which basically means I'm a slightly less shit at choking out dudes than a white belt. As a fresh blue belt, I thought stuff it, let's enter into a tournament and get absolutely destroyed by guys that have been training for longer than I have, and have competed at blue belt level before. After all, if Tom Hardy can do it, why can't I? I was hoping to get like maybe one win and just try not to make a fool of myself. So you can probably imagine I was pretty surprised when I absolutely destroyed everyone and claimed gold. Today I'll be taking you through how I somehow clutched 5 jiu-jitsu matches, how I was able to win each match, as well as the highlights and all that other good stuff. Let's get into it. The tournament was Grappling Industries, which is a pretty popular event for when you want to go up against a variety of competitors without being under so much pressure it feels like your left nut is gonna pop. I had competed twice before as a white belt, and I did clean house both times, but any idiot can win a white belt comp, so the stakes and competition for the blue belt comp was a lot higher. My first competitor was a judo guy, and I had literally just witnessed him judo throw and beat 3 other guys in the absolute division before our fight was scheduled. Yeah, I was shitting myself, as I'm not really known for my wrestling, yet despite this, I was somehow able to out-wrestle the judo guy and take him down with an ugly yet effective single leg trip. Once down, we scrambled, and I was able to secure a good side control, my favorite attacking position, before the ref called out of bounds, so we had to reset in the middle of the mat. Now here is where some fucking bullshit strikes. Usually you get reset in the position you were in when the ref resets the fight. You are only supposed to get reset standing back up if it's a genuine scramble or you go out of bounds while standing up. Yet the ref stands us back up, making me lose my extremely strong side control position and giving the judo guy another chance at doing what he does best. You can even see his face go like, alright, sure, because both of us expected to get reset in side control. To make matters worse, when I took him down and passed his guard, I extended my leg awkwardly, straining my right abductor muscles and massively reducing my leg motion, whilst also being really fucking painful, meaning I wouldn't really be able to shoot for double or single legs for the rest of the competition. Anyways, I was a bit shook from this, and the judo guy wasn't about to get taken down by a retard twice, so after a bit of a scruff, he hits me with the same throw he had done 3 times already today. Fortunately, my cameraman had my back, so you guys don't get to see me get humiliated with a judo throw, but he gets the points and I'm on my back. I quickly tried to transition to a single leg X, but I'm not quite able to set it up properly, allowing him to jump onto mount. Now getting mounted fucking sucks unless it's by someone attractive, and as charming as Judo Man was, he wasn't quite my type, so I bridged hard and turned on my side in an attempt to hip escape into a half guard and deny him the points for mount. But my bridge was a bit too hard, so he is able to snap on a quick armbar. Fortunately, we were in such a scramble he wasn't able to get it tight, so I pulled my elbow to the mat and broke the grip. This also allowed me to come up into half guard, as he had to awkwardly recover his base from the failed armbar attempt. From here, I was fucking exhausted. I don't think I'd taken a proper breath or match from the adrenaline, and I didn't want to lose my position that I had just blown my load getting. So I spent a bit of time taking a breather and driving my pressure into him. Eventually, I'm able to pin his arm, then pass it off, setting up a delicious Americana and getting the tap, securing a submission victory for match 1 of 5. I wasn't really expecting to hit any Americanas during this competition, despite them being one of my go-to main submissions. The reason is they are easy to defend, easy to predict, and you can even Americana someone who is trying to Americana you, so overall it's a bit of a noob stomping move. Bang! Match number 2 gives us a man who has never fought standing up in his life. You can tell by his hesitation, lack of strategy, and unbraced posture. I'm leading with my arm to try bait him to grab it, giving me access to the Russian tie position. I'm soon able to get it, and I use it, combined with his weird attempt at a single leg, to bring him down to the ground. However, he does a good job of getting the underhook and coming to turtle. I try to drag him over, which was fucking retarded by me, but at this point I was pretty confident I was gonna win, so I wasn't as focused as I should have been. He's even able to get up, which I shut down quickly by driving into him, getting the takedown points but also smashing my face into his shoulder. After checking to make sure my nose wasn't kaput, we were reset in the middle of the mat from the guard position. I worked to set up a standing guard pass, and on my second try I'm able to manage it, breaking his guard before passing through to side control, aka the cum zone. To my opponent's credit, his shoulders were flexible as fuck, surviving multiple very solid Americana attempts. Eventually, after some pretty fun passing, I hit him with the 3rd and final Americana, getting the tap and the win, making that 2 Americana victories. Very strange in a blue belt division. Match 3 saw me up against old mate who was definitely taking TRT, so I was a little bit hesitant with the stand-up part. On top of that, my abductor was fucking killing me, so I wasn't confident I'd be able to out-wrestle this guy. I thought I'd try bait another Russian tie, but he wasn't really feeling it. He did, however, give me his head, so I tried to snap him down, but the dude didn't give a fuck. We go out of bounds and the ref calls for a stop, so I stop, but old mate's hearing isn't what it once was, so he excitedly jumps on me, thinking he had just gotten the easiest mount of his life. Nah mate, not today. We scuffle and stand up for a bit longer before I'm finally able to shoot in a massive underhook, leading to a clean back take. With the back, there are a number of elegant takedowns you can do, but at this point, the elegance was gone and only abductor pain was present, so I did the Spurg Demon 360 spin takedown, which was super effective despite my coach's audible about how primitive my technique was. Regardless, I ended up in side control, and here is where the fun began. In short order, I was able to control his arm, and what do you know? Another Americana! Holy fucking shit, is my gym the only one that teaches you not to commit suicide by Americana? It's so basic. If you are watching this as a white belt or want to get into jits, just learn the Americana and it will carry you to gold in a fucking blue belt competition apparently. Fight number 4. This was an interesting one. If I won this, I would be guaranteed a spot in the final 2 to fight for gold or silver, but my opponent was 15 years old. Now I thought this would be the easiest one because, you know, I've got nearly 10 years on him, but this guy had beaten everyone else in the division, so I knew he had some tricks up his sleeve. Eventually he realized that he probably wasn't going to outmuscle Majorkill, so he pulled guard. The first person in the division to do so, which was surprising as usually everyone pulls guard. I'm a pretty vicious guard passer, especially from half guard, so I went in hard and was surprised when he inverted to maintain. A solid move. Fortunately, one of my main training buddies was a girl with no cartilage in her body who could basically invert and contort her way out of any position, so I was able to pressure forward, avoid any sneaky shit and pass through the knee shield. After a bit more patience and timing, I hit a very explosive guard pass and ended up in side control. For this match, side control wasn't the cum zone, as this guy was 15, and whilst I am many things, a pedo isn't one of them. The 15-year-old had some brain cells and had just seen me Americana 3 other dudes, so he kept his elbow tucked in to deny it. However, I don't just like side control because of the Americana. I have like 5 other disgusting submissions from there, including the lapel choke, using my own gi to crush his throat and get a tap, making that 4 for 4 submissions. I was told that that the gold was mine, but I knew there would be one final match, and sure enough, I was to verse the second highest scoring person in the division. I was to verse the 15-year-old in a rematch. It might seem weird, but that's just how it goes with these type of competitions. I knew that he would want to pull guard again, as he felt that I was getting quite close to an underhook, which would lead to some nice takedown opportunities. He decided to sit down. However, as I was all over him and my coach helpfully says, "I call that a takedown," I get awarded the 2 points, which put pressure on my opponent who was now losing. Unlike the first match, he is able to lock up a close guard, which sets him up for potential sweeps and submissions. I try the standing guard pass, but he counters and threatens a sweep, forcing me back down as I wanted to play it really safe. Eventually, I'm able to break his guard, but he's relentless, preventing all my pass attempts. I got so fucking close with a number of times, but with how active his legs were, if I gave even like a centimeter of space, he would be able to recover. He was controlling my posture with a collar grip, whilst using his other grips to prevent me from pinning his leg to the ground. Hence, I wasn't able to pass. After the mother of all scrambles, he is finally able to sweep me, getting his 2 points and tying up the score. At this point, I'm fucking exhausted. My leg was cramping up from the abductor strain, and now I had this energetic beast of a 15-year-old on me. He proceeds to move into a bit of a weird half guard, one that I'm not super familiar with. Bottom half guard isn't also my happy place, so I started to panic a bit. It was all I could do to hold on, as he began trying to Kimura me as well as past my guard. In a final effort, I rocked the boat and I literally tried to throw him off me, getting really close but just no cigar. Then I remember, I saw a side control escape by Jiu Jit on YouTube a few days earlier and thought it was cool and thought, fuck it, let's try it even though I was in half guard. You basically just roll and take their arm with you and see what happens. Well, what happened is that I hit a slick sweep, retook the points lead and ended up back on top. Thank you, Chewy. The 15-year-old wasn't done though. With 1 minute on the clock, he went bath salts mode, attempting to sweep me and triangle me. At this point, I refused to go back down, so I pass through both and get within a flick of a dick of side control. He rolls into turtle and I decide to actually do one of those elegant back takes, instead of trying to pull him over like an idiot. The back take almost works, giving me a decent position, but it wasn't a proper back take, hence I don't get the points for it and I can't really attack from here. That's okay though, all I need to do is stall for time. He escaped, beeps, puts me on my ass, and as I begin to get PTS flashbacks from the minute earlier, the timer runs out. I'm so exhausted and in pain that I don't even realize who won, so I had to spend a good second checking out the scoreboard. After reality kicked back in and I realized that I had it, the relief was obscene. However, so was the pain in my fucking abductor. Winners are grinners, but they'd probably grin a bit more if they turned their medallions the right way round. Massive cheers to Academy Jiu Jitsu, best Jiu Jitsu gym in Melbourne, great people, great culture, great coaches. If you're in Melbourne and wanted to give Jits a go, then the link is below if you want to try it out. They are also running a women's trial class on Saturday 1st of October, so this weekend. So if you're a girl in Melbourne or have a Melbourne missus that wants to try out martial arts, then get down. To really wrap up this video with justice, I realized that my blue belt medal was the same as my white belt medal, so using some Warhammer painting skills, I made a slight modification to it to better distinguish between the two. Cheers for watching. Peace.